Welcome back to Tom's Garage, boys and girls. Today we are going to be changing a valve cover gasket, leaky valve cover gasket on a Briggs and Stratton Intek single cylinder 21 horse. You've probably seen this motor before. Platinum. It's platinum. This thing is leaking right there. You can see the muffler is wet. And it's leaking down through here. Not geared. Not geared. I'm going to show you how I like to use the sealer instead of the regular gasket. I like to use the gaskets. You can stick it on there and just go on with your life. But when you have to use the sealer, it's a process you have to go through. I mean, it's like a 24-hour process, so we're gonna get with it. Well, I tell you, you gotta be careful where you walk around the shop. I mean, I have got stuff just absolutely everywhere. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm barely staying caught up. All right, first thing we're gonna do is, I got the tractor jacked up in the front so the oil runs to the back of the engine. I don't want no oil seeping out. So we'll just rip this valve cover off. We'll just take it off. Put a rag right there. Yeah, I mean, look how wet this thing is. Get yourself a good look at that. This is just absolutely soaking wet. Look at that. Not geared. Not geared at all. So what we're going to do is get rid of this gasket. It don't work. Oh yeah, it come off pretty good. Look at that. I mean, it's just soaked. If it's going to leak, it's going to leak around the bottom, like it did. And let me take our little razory blade and get that last little piece off right there. It's stuck. I think that's about the only place that paper gasket is stuck. That's what you get for using cheap Amazon stuff. Yep. Oh boy. Clean it off. Clean it off real good. I'll tell you what I did today. I went to Ollie's. I don't know if you have an Ollie's in your neighborhood, but if you do, go over there to where the book section is. And right next to the book section is their snack aisle. And sometimes they'll have Hers brand, H-E-R-R, Hers brand, jalapeno flavored cheese puffs. And I tell you, that will cure a crack addiction. God, those things are good. Me and Mom went to Ollie's this morning. Lo and behold, after about a couple of years, they had some more. Little carb cleaner right there, get all the grease and all that in there, boy. Get all the grease and hurl out of it. I'm so tempted to touch it with my finger. Don't touch it with your finger. All right. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. Now let's clean the valve cover. Ooh, that thing's nasty. I might have to. There. Let me get my pan. I'm gonna take carb cleaner, man, and try to get all the oil I can Get you a whiff of that. Woo! Make sure everything is degreased and dry, lint free. Lint free. Alright. I still got some residual stuff on there. Let me put it on the wire wheel. Bog her down, big boy. And I'm gonna hit it again. I can keep my big hairy arm out of the way, but just a little bit of there. Nice clean rag. Okay, I am satisfied with that. Ooh, the sun's coming back out. It has been raining for 2 days. Make sure you put your numbers up. Don't put it upside down, put it up. And I will show you what we're going to do. Let me get rid of this pan. Let me hit pause and we're going to go over to the old bench. All right. Okay, what we are going to use is Ultra Black. This is oil resistant. I'm not too worried about gasoline and fuel resistant. I'm more worried about the oil resistant because it's a valve cover. It's going to be covered in oil. So take the cap off here. Stick the other end in there. Open it up real good. Now I'm going to make a thin bead. Get back here, Cap. I'm not going to take side cutters and cut that thing because it'll deform it. So I'm just going to gently, yeah, about that much right there. Yeah, that'll work. That's about 1/8 of an inch, I'd say. I would say. All right, give it a squeeze. Give it a squeeze. You see it coming up the tube. In the tube. All right, we are right there. We are there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay one solid continuous bead around. Well, like I said, I'm going to try to. I need to get one of those. I think Jeremy, the Mower Medic one, I think he done a video on a tool he's got that will squeeze this thing for you, because man, it takes all your strength to do this. So what I'm going to do is start here. Yeah. Let me open that up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. La, la, la. All right, one continuous bead. So far, so good. Not too much, but make darn sure you get enough. You want to get it just as tall as it is wide. God, I ain't got the strength in my hands anymore. Goodness gracious. It ain't got to be so darn pretty. We're not taking this lawnmower to SEMA this year, so it ain't got to be absolutely perfect. Ooh, big air bubble in it. I've noticed that lately with liquid nails and different kind of latex caulk for your house and stuff. I've noticed there's always quality control ain't what it used to be. There's air bubbles and everything now. Back in the day, you'd never find an air bubble and you're caulking. We'll go back to the outside of the bolt holes. All right. Okay. We'll take this off. Yeah, I think Jeremy showed me a good way to clean these little tips. I need to do that. Make sure you seal it back up. There's no air pocket in there. Don't pierce the tube anywhere. You ought to be good. Back in the adhesive drawer. All right, let me reposition and we will stick her back on there. Yeah, I realized today that this tractor belongs to a retired Army colonel, so I got to make sure I do him a decent job. Barely stick it to it. Don't push on it, just let it rest against it. Okay, just let the weight of the valve cover itself rest against it. Start the bolts by hand, make sure they're not cross threaded. Now what I do is take and just screw it down so gently, each little bolt. I'll show you up close. What you want to do, run each screw down very lightly, but hang on to your tool. So what we're going to do is see it? It just started squeezing out. Run it down. God, I can't hang on to it, it's so greasy. Run it down. Oh, you see it? It just started squeezing. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. Run the bolt down to where it barely touches and starts squeezing. There it goes, it's starting to squeeze out a little bit. Same thing over here. Run it up, just started squeezing. Okay. That's all you want to do. So what we're going to do now, we're going to give it 1 hour. It is 10 till 7. I'm doing this late at night because I promised the customer his tractor, and come to find out it had a leaky valve cover. And he's an Army colonel, and I'm not going to make him mad because his valve cover's leaking. So we're going to do this correctly. So we will be back at 10 till 8, and we're going to torque it down to spec, give it a good oomph on each screw like Riley says. Then you should really give it 24 hours to cure. But I'm not going to crank it and run it. But in the morning, I'll get it off the jack stands and push it out and let it set all day long. And then, come, 4 o'clock or so in the evening tomorrow, I'll crank it. But we're going to give it an hour. We're going to torque it down after that. Let it set overnight. Tomorrow, 9, 10 o'clock, we're going to just push it off the table and just let it set somewhere all day long. Let it cure. We will continue. Okay, we are back. It is exactly 10 after 8, so we have let this thing cure for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And as you will see, it is, you know, the humidity is real low right now. So, I mean, that's just dry to the touch, really. Even that little spot right there, just completely dry. It feels dry. When it's real hot and real humid, God, it seems like forever for this stuff to set up. But I like that. I like that. So what we're going to do now, I ain't going to get into no kind of special nanometer torque specs and inch pounds and foot pounds, none of that crap. All we're going to do is tighten it. That's all we're going to do. Lightly. You can still see it squeezing. Lightly. Lightly. And lightly. Now I'll come back and give it a oomph. Give it a little oomph. Give it a good little oomph. And give it a good little oomph. All right. And that is all there is to it. And then tomorrow morning, I'll just, like I said, I'll just push it outside and just let it set all day. Let it finish curing. And then you won't have any more leaks. Evidently, this valve cover was probably warped over the years. So that is that. Permatex Ultra Black Oil Resistant. That's all there is to it. You just got to have patience when you use this stuff. That's why I like just putting gaskets on it and just moving on. But all right, guys, I will see y'all in the morning. Push it out, let it sit, and we'll have a follow-up. Good morning, guys. It has been, I got late opening the shop this morning, but it's about 10 o'clock, and this gasket has been sitting for about 14 hours. And it's nice and dry. Nice and dry to the touch. So what I'm gonna do is get it off the table, just put it outside under the carport till tomorrow, till the customer comes and gets it. I'll wait till probably tomorrow morning before I crank it. Give it a good 24 hours, man. You gotta let it cure. You really, really do. The longer you let it cure, the better it's gonna be. You know, just don't get in a hurry with it. And appreciate you guys watching the video, guys and girls. And love each other, because you know I do. And y'all be good, and I will see you guys on the next video.